Welcome to Pulp, the search for lost literary Did you hear that? Let's talk about the author. Robert Moore Williams was an American author born June 19th, 1907, and he died in 1997 at the age of 69.
69, dudes!
Stop it! Anyways, he graduated from the Missouri School of Journalism, but I was unable to find out if he actually did any journalism. Actually, I was unable to find out really anything about him, other than the fact that he used the pen names John S. Browning, H. Harmon, Russell Storm, and house name E.K. Jarvis. Williams' first story was published in the July 1937 issue of Astounding Stories, and he went on to write over 150 stories spanning 3 decades. He was most well known for his Xanthar and John Gore series, which were clones of Edgar Rice Burroughs' Barsoom and Tarzan series, respectively.
What?
John Clute said that his stories were unremarkable, and few were original, yet they were rarely dull, and he called Williams an important supplier of competent genre fiction. Which brings us to The Bell from Infinity. Earth rang like a great gong, Mars roared like a gigantic brass trumpet, Venus sang with the note of a huge violin, and all of them would soon explode into lifeless asteroid belts, unless the bell from Infinity stopped ringing. The menace began in the original asteroid belt itself, where one man found what he thought was the largest diamond ever discovered.
Bada-bing, bada-boom, there's a giant diamond.
It was not a diamond, but a weird crystal, and it contained the bell from Infinity. Efforts to cut it unwittingly activated it and revealed its true nature, an ultimate weapon that could reduce all planets to fragments and end life down to the last tiny microbe. Trapped in one of the airless caverns of one small asteroid, cut off from all outside help, a valiant group of Earthmen, Martians, and Venusians had to unite to fight the bell and put a stop to its terrible threat, although no man had ever succeeded in touching it without dying. The Bell from Infinity is an original story published by Lancer in 1968. It is 189 pages and originally cost 60 cents. I own the first and only printing. The cover is by Jerome Podwell, and it's okay. I typically enjoy Podwell's art, but there's so little of it here, and it's kind of chaotic. The highlight here, I think, is the cover design, and that font in particular. This book only goes for like $3 or $4 online. Now, there's nothing on YouTube about RMW, aside from some creepy AI voices reading a few of his short stories. And for being an author that nobody talks about, I surprisingly had a lot of books by RMW. But I picked this one up recently. I knew it had to jump the queue. I had to read it because the premise alone was so crazy. And with that lead in, let's talk about what I liked. The story opens up with a man inside a casino. He is panicked, in pain, and he hears this ringing, this gong, bell, chime, this ringing sound, always ringing, but nobody else can hear it. He goes to the bar and orders the strongest drink they have, hoping that he can deaden the pain, deaden the sound somehow, but it only intensifies. Suddenly, the bell rings even harder, and the bottles of alcohol shatter all around him, and his body is pulled into a dance. The pings choreograph these beautiful, violent motions. The man screams. The other patrons and the staff are confused. Some are laughing, some are upset, some ask him to leave. They all shut up when the man turns red suddenly, because all the blood is escaping out his pores. Then they all hear the sound. Many are pulled into a similar dance. It's complete chaos. Somehow the man manages to break free from the spell. He runs upstairs, runs to his room, and he sends out a telepathic call to his friend Ben. Ben, the bells from Infinity. His friend Ben Perth is the leader of Group 9. Group 9 is a secret team whose job it is to, quote, stop secret weapons before they even start. But how do you stop a sound coming from the depths of space before this rhythmic ringing destroys the entire solar system. As far as opening scenes go, I was in. Williams set out some lore, which I actually found quite interesting. Group 9 is made up of humans from Earth, these hawk-like Martians, and the green-eyed Venusians. We learn that the asteroid belt is actually the remains of an older planet, an original planet that the Venusians came from and was somehow destroyed. As a result, the Venusians are culturally behind, stunted maybe. They're more prone to superstition and barbarism. It does create some problems with the story because, they're a spacefaring race, but they don't understand electricity. Things like that, but it's easy to get past. Chapter 2 places Group 9 on board the Rose. They're disguised as a mining ship in the asteroid belt, and the asteroid belt is portrayed as a floating river of gravel and other ore and minerals and stuff. And it's kind of cool how they do it. They align themselves, match the flow of the gravel river, and then the front of their ship, the Rose, opens up. They scoop up the goods and sort them from there. Now, obviously, this isn't how asteroid belts work. But I like the imagination at work here. It's fun. I mean, you could scoop up massive quantities of gold or diamonds. It lets the imagination run wild. Who knows what you're going to scoop up? In fact, the legendary space prospector Pegleg MacGruber once claimed to see a diamond 5 feet in diameter.
Bada-bing, bada-boom, there's a giant
There's this gold rush feel to everything, and it's, like I said, it's kind of fun. The casino in the beginning is actually this outpost that's set on a large asteroid. It's the go-between from, all these prospectors and miners and people in this gold rush and all the planets. So the setting and the world building here is so unique, and as I keep saying, it's fun. The idea is fun. But you drop a strange and violent mystery here, I'm telling you guys, I was jazzed to start reading this. And now, the bad. Now, I'm aware that some of you, based upon this premise alone, might already have this in your eBay cart. I mean, I might, to be honest. But I say, maybe hold on just a second before you hit buy. This book kind of upset me. I mean, imagine giving that premise to even a semi-competent writer. I mean, they could make something really special out of it. What we got here is less than special. What we got here is stupid. Now, normally stupid doesn't make me mad. I often find it charming. I couldn't run this channel if that wasn't the case. But as soon as this incredible premise started, RMW starts dismantling it one piece at a time. And I'm reading this going, no, what are you doing? Stop! No, stop!
It's enough to get me to the boiling point!
RMW's most obvious weakness is his dialogue. I do not know how it can be, the Venusian answered. I find these things in my mind, and I say them. Sometimes they make what you call nonsense, and sometimes they make super sense. How else do I make a profit except on someone's sufferings? Elo asked. His grin widened. He had these humans, these Venusians, exactly where he wanted them. There are other ways, Hirsch said. You can make profits by good service, by fair dealing, by giving honest value in return for honest prices. Most of all, you can only make the kind of profit that is real in the long run by working for something that is bigger than you are. In this case, the whole solar system. Elo laughed at him. That's the way a loser talks.
What a loser. Get a friend, loser.
Either he wrote this when he was 10, or his dialogue is beyond amateurish. Misspelled words and an overabundance of exclamation marks. An overabundance, especially because most of the time things are not actually being exclaimed. We learn that inside the asteroid outpost is a massive diamond, and when the greedy, evil owner of the asteroid hires a greedy, evil Venusian named Elo to cut an already perfectly polished diamond, mind you. Whoops. He instead uses the power of this diamond to do evil things. Because you see, the diamond is not actually a diamond, but it's a device named ALF. ALF, ALF. I mean, how are we supposed to take this threat seriously when it's named ALF?
They'll never take me seriously. But they never did take me seriously. Why I oughta...
But I have a few more questions. Who made ALF? What is it supposed to do? Why does it make bell sounds? Why does it make people dance? Why did it destroy Venus before Venus? How come now it stopped making people dance, but now it's doing anything? It can make people levitate. It can throw people through time and space. It makes knives dance. Why was it making random people dance before they exploded?
Why?
Why? Why? Why is it called ALF?
Ignorance is no excuse.
Ignorance is your excuse all the time.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Character consistency. Despite having a decent-sized cast, any single character in this book is completely interchangeable. What's even stranger is the few characters that have personalities, they change on a whim. For example, Ben Perth's first mate is this husky, rough-voiced Texan named Bill Curtin, who had wandered too far from the Lone Star State. Now, I have kind of a wild theory, but I think I'm right. He wrote mate. I think he meant to write first mate, but he wrote mate. Then we have a scene where Perth is inside an asteroid with the team, and Curtin is over the comm, just fussing and worrying.
Oh, Ben, I just get so worried. Please tell me that you'll be careful. Please come back. You don't have to do this. Just come on back, please. I get so worried when you're not with me, Ben. Come back, please. It's not that I think you're a god. It's just that when I'm with you, being in your presence makes me believe in God. Oh, please hurry. I need to be with you.
Ben Perth severed the comm and kind of just rolled his eyes. I legitimately think that Robert Moore Williams forgot that he wrote Curtin as a big burly Texan. And as he's writing, he kept writing his mate Curtin. And then he goes, oh, it's his mate. I legitimately thought he thinks that Curtin was a girl because he wrote her as the most ridiculous, stereotypical, cartoonishly fussy woman.
Come on, Jake. No one just forgets facts about their characters like that.
Okay, how about this? Our Venusian villain, Ello, explains how to cut a diamond. Let me read it to you. "We not study such great stones," Ello had told Grant. "First, we study the stone, see which way the grain lies. Most delicate matter this, must know flow of grain in whole stone. Then we do not cut as with saws, we crack along grain, make smaller pieces. Then we study these pieces and see how grain flows. Crack again, do this until we get down to size and stone you want. Then we make finders and polish."
Okay, it's a bit weird that there's an alien from Venus that has a German accent, but so what?
Well, what if I told you that the accent went away immediately?
Wait, so you're saying that Elo is introduced with a heavy accent and then it fades?
No, that's not what I'm saying. He is introduced speaking broken English. Then he has a German accent for one page, and then he speaks in eloquent supervillainese, then morphs into what I can only assume is an attempt at a heavy Asian accent. RMW explains the guns here in great deal, and they're just shotguns. He's explaining shotguns, but he calls them burp guns. Now, I've encountered this several times before, and it always makes me laugh. What started out as cool, interesting, creepy, soon turned to comedy. With his right hand, he made a gesture. Hang, the bell went. Quickly, he made a different gesture. Hung, the bell said. Sweat breaking out inside his spacesuit. Perth tried again. Ping, 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 went the bell. Perth tried again. Thump, went the great drum. That was the climax. So what's the verdict? Thrift Shop. That's where you'll find it. That's where it belongs. The interesting initial premise is what saved this from returning to Pulp, but it's not worth owning or reading. 2 out of 5. And that is my review of The Bell from Infinity. Have you read this or anything else by Robert Moore Williams that you would recommend? Let us know in the comments. As always, thanks for watching. I will see you all next time with Path to Savagery.
Whoa! I am out of here.